Good afternoon ulit sa inyo mga Batang Mandunong. I hope nag-enjoy kayo sa review lesson na ibinahagi sa atin ng isang guro from MPNAG, walang iba kundi si Mr. Lee Ardones. Okay? So, welcome once again to our Project SOAR, the series of online academic reviews in mathematics for week 7. My name is Ryan J.C. Burbo from Mataas sa Paaralan na Paliit Gonzales, your moderator for this week. Okay, so at this point in time, let me introduce to you our review teacher naman for general mathematics. So senior high school learners, ready na ba kayo para mag-review for module 7, for week 7 rather, using our CLAID module? Okay, so let me introduce to you our review teacher. She is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Secondary Education, major in Mathematics, in the year 2016. Okay, currently, she is taking up her 9 units Master of Arts in Education, major in Secondary Education. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, a grade 11 teacher from Mandaluyong High School, none other than Ma'am Rona Reyes. Ma'am, good luck po sa inyo.
Hello everyone! Today, you will learn about how to solve problems involving exponential functions, equations, and inequalities. Dito natin malalaman kung paano ba isolve ang mga ito sa real-world situations. Pero bago ang lahat, hawak niyo na ba ang mga notebook at pen niyo? Kung oo, ready na ba ang lahat? Kung ready na, tara na at simulan na natin. At the end of this video, you are expected to define exponential function, equation, and inequality. Represent real-life situations using exponential functions, equations, and inequalities. And last, solve problem involving exponential functions, equations, and inequalities. Ano nga ba ang exponential function, exponential equation, and exponential inequality? Ating ibalik-aral ang mga kahulugan nito. Exponential function is a type of function of the form f of x is equal to b raised to x, where b is any real number greater than 0, but b should not equal to 1. Exponential equation is an equation involving exponential expressions. An exponential inequality is an inequality involving exponential expressions. Ang mga ito ay maaari nating magamit sa real-world situation, tulad ng pag-invest ng pera sa bangko. Dito mo malalaman kung gaano kalaki ang makukuha mong interest or kita sa ininvest mong pera sa bangko, depende sa taon na ilalaan mo. Sila rin ay magagamit lalo na sa field ng biology. Dito mo malalaman ang galaw at bilis ng paglaki ng mga bakterya, virus, germs at iba pang organismo. Sa geometric progression, magagamit ang exponential sa pagkuha ng mga sequence. Para maintindihan natin ito, let's have an example. Suppose Jenny plans to buy a cell phone worth 12,800 pesos. With an initial money of 200 pesos, his father plans to double Jenny's money in the same manner. How long does Jenny have to wait? How many times does she have to multiply her 200 pesos by 2 to have 12,800 pesos? Write the exponential function that represents the number of weeks must wait before she could buy the cell phone. Ang una nating gagawin ay, we have to determine the problem. What is being asked in the problem? Okay, we have here two questions need to be answered. First is, how long does Jenny have to wait? And how many times does she have to multiply her 200 pesos by 2 to have 12,800 pesos? So kung titignan at i-imagine natin, ganito ang kalalabasan niya. 200 pesos times 2 times 2 times 2 and so on and so forth to make it 12,800 pesos. So, paano natin kukunin yon? Okay. So, we have to represent the following variables. First, y be the amount of cell phone, x be the number of times she have to multiply her 200 pesos by 2, a be the initial value of money, and b the doubling rate. Okay. So, balik tayo dun sa mga variables na nirepresent natin. Y, how much amount of cell phone? So we have 12,800 pesos. Okay. Our x is unknown. Kasi dito, base sa question, hindi pa natin alam kung ilang beses niya ito times si 200 pesos sa 2. Okay. And then, initial value of money, kumbaga, ito yung money ni Jenny sa ngayon. So, we have 200 pesos and B is 2. So, in order to get it, to represent the exponential function, we use the function y is equal to a times b raised to x. So, we come up by substituting all the values in the given function. Okay, so we have 12,800 pesos is equal to 200 pesos times 2 raised to x. As you can see, this is an example of an exponential equation. Why? Because we use equal to represent it as the equation. It is also an exponential function. Let's make a diagram to understand how Jenny will have the 12,800 pesos. As you can see in the diagram, ipinapakita dito kung paano dumoble ang pera ni Jenny kada linggo. So, umabot ng 6 weeks bago makuha or makollect ni Jenny yung 12,800 pesos para sa pagbili niya sa cellphone. So, kanina, ginamitan natin ng function which is y is equal to a times b raised to x to represent the exponential function to the problem. And then we have the given in y is equal to 12,800 pesos, x is unknown, a is 200 pesos, and b is 2. So, ito yung exponential function sa problem, which is 12,800 pesos is equal to 200 pesos times 2 raised to x. Or pwede naman natin pagbaliktarin yan. We have 200 pesos times 2 raised to x is equal to 12,800 pesos. Okay, so paano natin siya isasolve? From the given exponential function, so 200 pesos times 2 raised to x is equal to 12,800 pesos. We simply divide 200 pesos on both sides. Okay, so kung dinivide natin siya sa 200, mak-cancel out si 200 pesos. So ang matitira na lang ay 2 raised to x is equal to 12,800 pesos all over 200 pesos. Now, dinivide natin si 12,800 pesos at si 200 pesos, which we come up with 2 raised to x is equal to 64. Okay, so paano natin madedetermine yung value ni x? To recall, in getting the value of exponent, kailangan mong ma-determine kung anong base na parehas ang magkabilang side. Since we already have 2 as the base of exponent x, let's determine kung si 64 ba ay pwede ang 2 as base niya. Okay, so si 2 ay pwede maging base ni 64. Ito ay magiging 2 raised to 6. So, pwede na nating ma-identify ang x natin, which is unknown. Since parehas na sila ng base, which is 2, equate na lang natin yung exponent. Okay, so we have x is equal to 6. Again, ano ba yung x natin? Sa kaninang ni-represent natin, ang x is the number of times she have to multiply her 200 pesos by 2. So, lumabas dito ay meron tayong x is equal to 6. Ibig sabihin, we conclude that Jenny have to multiply her 200 pesos by 2 in 6 times and wait for 6 weeks to get the same amount of 12,800 for a new cell phone. Lisa deposit 20,000 in a saving account that earns 3.5% interest compounded annually. If she does not make any deposit or withdrawal in the account, how much will her money be at the end of 8 years? So this is an example of compound interest. Bank that pays a compound interest for your savings uses exponential function para makompute po yung interest na kinita mo over a period of time. So let's go back to the problem. What is being asked in the problem? So we have, how much will her money be at the end of 8 years? So ayan yung hinahanap po natin. So in getting for the compound interest, we use this formula. A of x is equal to p times the quantity 1 plus r over n raised to xn. So what are these variables? So we have a of x is the amount of at the end of x years, p is the principal amount, r is the rate of interest, n is the number of times the interest is compounded in a year, and x is the number of years after the interest is applied. So what are the given in the problem? We have P is equal to 20,000. So meaning, ang principal ay ito yung initial value na dineposit mo sa saving account ni Lisa. And R is the rate, which is 3.5% interest. Okay, so i-convert natin siya sa decimal, which is 0.035. And X is 8 years. Why 8 years? Because we are looking for at the end of 8 years. And then N is equal to 1 because it is compounded annually. So when we say annually or annual, it is 1 year. Okay? To solve for this, let's use the formula and substitute all the given values. So we have A of x is equal to 20,000 times 1 plus 0.035 divided by 1 raised to 8 times 1. Then, A of x is equal to 20,000 times 1 plus 0.35 all over 1, which is become 0.035 raised to a. Then we have A of x is equal to 20,000 times 1.035 raised to 8. Okay, so kadalasan, marami ang nagkakamali sa process after ng process na to. Kasi ang usually na ginagawa ay pinatimes agad si 20,000 kay 1.035. Which is, ang dapat na gawin ay we have to evaluate or perform the number inside the parentheses. So we have, ano ba yung number na inside sa parentheses? We have 1.035. Okay, so kailangan po muna natin siyang i-raise to 8. Ibig sabihin, we have to multiply the 1.035 ng 8 beses bago natin i-multiply kay 20,000. So we have A of x is equal to 20,000 times 1.317. Okay, so mas maigi kung in thousands po ang ating decimal place po. Okay, so we have here now A of x is equal to 26,340. So, pwede na natin makonclude na si Lisa will earn 26,340 pesos at the end of 8 years. Imagine, from 20,000 pesos, tumubo siya ng magkano? 6,340 pesos. So, ganon ang na-earn niya based doon sa interest na 3.5%. Tayo sa biology. A certain substance decays at an exponential rate. At first, there are 25 grams of the substance in a container. After 3 days, only 0.2 grams of the substance is left. At this rate, how much of the substance will be left after 5 days? What is being asked in the problem? How much of the substance will be left after 5 days? In getting for the substance, we use the formula A of t is equal to BE raised to KT. What are these variables? A of t is a quantity of the substance at the given time. B is the initial quantity of the substance. K is the rate of growth or of decay, and E is the special constant, which is the irrational number, which is 2.718281E. So what are the given in the problem? We have A of T is equal to 0.2 gram. This is the quantity of the substance after 3 days. B is the initial substance, which is 25 gram. And K is unknown, and time is 3 days. So for the solution, we have to substitute all the given in the formula. So we have A of 3 is equal to 25E raised to K times 3. So, ano ba yung amount or yung quantity ni substance sa 3 days? We have 0.2 and then is equal to 25E raised to K times 3. So we have to divide both sides by 25 to cancel 25. Okay, so we have 0.2 divided by 25 is equal to E raised to K times 3. So we have 0.008 is equal to E raised to K times 3. As you can see, we don't have the value for the K. So to get for that, we have to get first this cube root of the both sides. Okay, so we have cube root of 0.08 is equal to cube root of E raised to K times 3. So we come up with 0.2 is equal to E raised to K. Ngayon, we have now the value of E raised to K. So let's now get for the amount of substance after 5 days. So for the given formula, we use A of 5 because we're looking now for the amount of substance after 5 days is equal to 25 times, ano ba yung E raised to K na nakuha natin kanina? We have 0.2 and then raised to T, which is 5. So we have A of 5 is equal to 25 times 0.00032. So A of 5 is equal to 0.008. So therefore, after 5 days, the amount of substance is 0.008. Let's have the geometric regression. Slick Rick Incorporation is a company that deals with networking marketing. The first members are Eric, Mel, and Jean. Each of them needs to recruit 3 more members to form the second level of Slick Rick members. Each of the newly recruited members should always recruit 3 more members. This new set of members would be the third level members. If this scheme continues for each new level, how many 7th level will be there? So what is the problem? How many 7th level will be there? Okay, so hinahanap natin dito is ilan ba ang magiging tao ni Slick Rick Incorporation pagdating sa 7th level. Okay, so let's have this diagram. So, as you can see in the diagram, si Eric, si Mel, at si Jean ay ang mga first level na member. Okay, so si Eric, si Mel, at si Jean ay kailangan mag-recruit ng 3 member. So, si Eric may nakuhang 3 members sa second level. Si Mel may nakuha ring 3. And then si Jean ay may nakuha ring 3. Sila ay tinatawag na second level. Ito namang second level ay kailangan na makakuha rin po sila ng tatlong recruit. Okay? So we have si second level, may nakuha ulit siyang tatlo. Ang pangalawa sa second level ay may nakuha ulit tatlo. And sa pangatlong second level na member ay nakakuha rin ng tatlo. Katulad din yan ng kila Mel at Jean. Okay, so paano natin siya i-represent? So sa first level, meron tayong tatlong members, which is si Eric, si Mel, at si Jean. Sa second level, so yung nakuha nila Mel ay ita-times natin doon sa tatlong members na nakuha nung second level. So meron na silang 9 members. And then sa third, okay, doon sa third level, diba we have 9 members na. Na-times ulit siya sa 3 equals to 27 members. Okay. So from Eric, hanggang doon sa nirecruit nila sa third level, ay meron ng 27 members. Now the question is, ilan ang magiging members sa 7th level? Okay. So for the solution, it is we use the a sub n is equal to 3 times 3 raised to n minus 1. So we have here, substitute for the 7, we have a of 7 is equal to 3 times 3 raised to 7 minus 1. So we come up with a of 7 is equal to 3 times 3 raised to 6, which is, in the 7th level, we have 2,187 members. So imagine, ganon kabilis at member ang Slick Rick kapag nag-recruit ang mga tao nito. How much of an initial investment would you need for it to be worth at least 12,000 pesos if it is compounded yearly at 2.5% over 2 years? Write an exponential inequality that can be used in finding the initial investment. Let's have what is being asked in the problem. Okay, so we have to know how much of an initial investment would you need for it to be worth at least 2,000 pesos. Okay, so here is the solution that represents the following variables. A of x is the amount at the end of x years. P is the principal amount. R is the rate of interest. And N is the number of times the interest is compounded in a year. And X is the number of years after the interest is applied. Now, what would be the given in the problem? We have A of X is equal to at least 2,000 pesos. Okay, so ang ibig sabihin, yung total amount natin should not, na hindi po bababa sa 2,000. Okay. And then, P is unknown. Rate is the interest, which is 2.5% or equivalent to 0.025 in decimal. And then X is 2 years. And N is 1 because it compounded yearly. So let's solve for it. For the solution, we use the formula of compound interest. Then after that, we have to substitute all the given values. As you can see, we use the inequality symbols. Why? Because of the word at least 2,000 pesos. Okay, so we have 2,000 that indicates A of X, the principal, times 1 plus 0.025 all over 1, and raised times raised to 2 times 1. Okay, we have 2,000 is less than or equal to principal times 1.025 raised to 2. So 2,000 is less than or equal to P times 1.05. So we have to divide 1.05 in both sides to get for the value of principal. So we have 1904.76 is less than or equal to principal. Okay, so that is how you solve for the inequalities, for the exponential inequality. Let's practice. The number of bacteria in a culture triples every hour. Suppose there are 500 bacteria at present. Write the exponential function that represents the number of bacteria after X hours. Right, so we have y is equal to 500 times 3 raised to t. Parehas ba ng sagot natin ang sa inyo? Kung oo, congratulations! Let's have for the next question. How many bacteria will be present after 4 hours? We have 40,500 bacteria. Imagine na gano'ng kabilis mag-reproduce ang bacteria. Let's have another one. The value of a new desktop computer is 80,000 pesos and depreciates every year by half. The value of computer after X years may be represented by the exponential function b of x is equal to 80,000 times 1 over 2 raised to x. What would be the value of computer after 3 years? Okay, so we have 10,000. Next, how much will computer cost after 5 years? We have 2,500 pesos. Okay, so if you got the same answer, congratulations! I hope na nakatulong ito sa inyo sa pag-solve ng problems involving exponential function, equation, and inequality. For more questions, feel free to send it in our official page. So thank you for watching Batang MANDunong. I am your Teacher Rona na nagsasabi na ang problema ay hindi hadlang sa pag-abot ng mga pangarap. Ito ay gabay lamang. Maraming salamat hanggang sa muli. Paalam!